Okay, Jason, yes? All right. I'll call the January 17th meeting of the St. John Water Districts to order. Would you please take roll?
Jim Zarnik,
Present.
Joe McInerney,
Present.
Ken Gambala,
Present.
Wayne Pondinas,
Present.
Joe Wizawati,
Present.
Tom Nagel.
Present.
All right, the first item on the agenda is election of officers for 2023. Are there any nominations for president?
I nominate Ken Gimbala for president.
And I
Is there
second
a second? All right, then I guess with only 3 people, we'll close nominations. All in favor signify by aye.
that. Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Next is office of vice president.
I nominate Joan McInerney for vice president.
I'll second that. Close nominations. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Yeah, that's all we have. We don't have a treasurer or secretary. Approval of the minutes, that's, I guess, going to have to be me, because I was the only one present. So that'd be the minutes for December 20th, Tuesday. And Ken, do you have any changes? No? Okay, I don't have any changes, okay. Therefore, okay, you're going to have to abstain, so it's just going to be one.
They can accept the motion to approve the minutes. They can accept the approval of the
All
minutes.
right, so I have a motion to accept the minutes of December 20th as printed.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried, minutes accepted. All right, those are the only minutes we have. All right,
Typically, in a situation like that, if they were absent from a meeting, they could
yeah,
abstain.
otherwise we don't have a,
Right, but all you're doing is accepting the minutes as they were
As
presented
printed.
for recording for the record.
all right, we have a number of new business items. First, we have to terminate professional service agreement with Attorney Angela Jones and direct the town manager to send a notice of the same. I assume she already knows about it.
I would assume so. The fact is that the Water Board approved a professional service agreement with Angela Jones, who's an attorney. For whatever reason, I don't understand what the issue was, but if there's an issue with, legal issues, then obviously the town attorney is who we would typically use in situations like that. If there's ever a conflict where that would come up, then obviously the water district would have the right to retain counsel in that situation.
All right, so who is our attorney then?
The town attorney, if
The town
you need,
attorney.
if the
Okay, yeah.
board needs any kind of legal advice, as long as there's no conflict, then obviously that legal advice would be
I
provided.
was always understanding that who was our counsel, because that's.
Correct.
We were having him.
Well, what that was, Kenny, is your board and the sanitary board, you're your own entity. So you can pick your own accounting firm, you can pick your own lawyer, whatever. That's up to you. So that's what that's all about. I believe, Joe, that that attorney was not, didn't charge us anything. They just retained her just in case.
I don't think they were ever engaged.
No, they didn't engage in anything, so
with-
that was a choice that they made.
All right, so with that, you have no objections to retaining a town attorney for the board attorney?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it would be prudent to do so from a cost efficiency standpoint, unless we're given reason not to.
Okay. All right, therefore, we motion to approve professional service agreement with Sender Dalton to serve as financial advisor for the Water District for 2023. You have a proposal in there.
So I'm sorry, do we have to take a vote on the
Motion to terminate.
terminating?
Oh, well,
I'll make the motion to terminate professional service agreement with attorney Angela Jones and direct the town manager to send notice of the same.
I'll second that motion.
all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. In the packet is a annual agreement with Sender Dalton Municipal Advisors. If you had a chance to look at all of that, it's pretty standard. So this would be for the year 2023. It's nothing different. Any questions?
No, I did not have
A
that.
motion to approve the professional services of Sender Dalton.
I'll make the motion to approve a professional service agreement with Senator Dalton to serve as financial advisor for the Water District for 2023.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. All right, next is our engineering. Motion to approve professional service agreement with Robinson Engineering to serve as engineers for the district for 2023. Also in your packet is a listing of rates, which is pretty standard. Any questions?
No.
Okay, if not, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the professional services agreement with Robinson Engineering to serve as the engineer for the Water District for 2023.
I will second that.
All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. All right. All right, then in there is some items for Peerless Midwest, and for $15,972, there was also a change order. You want to discuss that, town engineer, or?
I'm sorry, you repeat that, sir?
For the
Talk to
request to
Peerless?
purchase
Or
for the
Joe.
RTP,
Yeah,
that's on the board's agenda for Peerless Midwest. This is for the well number 9.
yeah, anything to talk about, or
The additional acid treatments?
there was
This was a contract that was cut with the Public Works, and I did not see this before my time. It was probably happened before we got
Maybe-
appointed.
Yeah, so what that was they made the approval to do well 9, and they were out there. It took a while. I think we might have started in June. They got down doing what they had to do. They were only going to pump about 600 gallons, 700 gallons a minute. They said, we can do this acid test. They spent another 5 days out there. That total was $20,000, a little over $20,000. So they said, okay, St. John, we know you wanted it. We saved on mobility and mobilization, demobilization. So while the unit was there, it's a 90,000-pound rig. Rather than take it 2.5 hours away back to their place and get in line again, they stayed there. It cost $20,000. They divided that in half. That's why on one of the papers it says 50% discount. That's what that is. So that's why it went from 145 to 155. That was, they did us a favor. So now that well, there's no billing around it. It's pumping at right around 1,100 gallons a minute. So that gave us a better well. So we kind of lucked out by their good graces and getting a discount for 50%. Otherwise, it would have cost us $20,000 more, plus mobilization, demobilization, if they came back out. So I think that was a good deal for us.
the invoice was $145,829, yet request to purchase form is the $155,072. So that was approved in writing then with the additional.
Pardon?
If the final was approved in writing, then with the additional.
Yeah, it's all in front of you.
The original one was done in February of 2022.
Right, and that's when we had, Jason was acting town manager then. So his signature's on the one.
Yeah, I see that.
Mr. Gabala, I could tell you my experience in well development, that's normal what happens. So that when you drill a well, you hope some expectations of what the GPM is. Nobody could guarantee it, so they're developing a one by acidizing it. It would have been an extra cost whether it was in the contract or not. Your choices are stick with a 600 gallon a well or roll the dice and acidize it, see if you get higher production. Then you almost doubled your production. Not being involved in this at all, from what the trustee just said, I think it seems reasonable.
Okay, I'm just looking at, there we got the paperwork, that's all, to cover the difference in the total, that's all. I see it was signed, originally signed by Bob Davis, and then the purchase order form was 155, or it was 145, because I signed it, and then I'm looking for this. Okay, request to purchase form then was changed to 155. Does this have to be signed again then?
Yeah, the motion should be approved for the corrected amount of 155.
Okay. All right, well anyhow, the bottom line is, we're approving the total of 155-972 to Peerless Midwest. All right, so you got all that?
Yep.
Any questions or any comments?
No questions.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to approve this purchase request for 155-972?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
We don't need a motion to approve me to sign it.
No, you sign it at the end, the RTP.
Okay. All right, then we have water utility write-offs for the year. And you should have that in your packet. Find the right page. Here it is. January 10th, Board of Waterworks, following collection efforts not warranted. Usually that gets into the legal fees are gonna cost more than us going after it. You know, that's just the way it works. It's the same for town council. I remember it was the same way when we found out that it just costs more to try and go after it for these amounts. It's only a total of $297 for the year. So, do you have any questions on that? This is this one here.
I do know.
Yeah.
All right, is there a motion then to approve the utility write-offs in the amounts of $297.17?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. All right. Old business, I guess we'll just, under that, I'll put the updates.
Yes, sir. So we got a lot going on right now. We got about 7 projects to report, and I'll be very, very brief for respect for the other meeting occurring on time. Acorn water main job, the design is 100% done, and we're sent down to IDEM for a permit on it. We're ahead of schedule on that, probably by about 6 weeks. We still anticipate we'll be doing the project in the summer and complete it in the fall. The computerized hydraulic model, we're about 50% done on that. That one is planned to be done around May 1st on it. Wells 7, 8, and 9, the pilot study. The pilot study was done on well 8, and it's been started on well 7. We have an issue at well 9 because it's in a farmer's field, and the anticipation was that the ground would have been frozen by now. They get their equipment out there. We're waiting for a big freeze to get the equipment out there in order to finish it. The results so far coming in are fabulous. I mean, what we're finding out is we're going to gain about 50% more water flow through the filters based on the pilot study. So we're really happy with that. Wells 8 and 9 well house is going forward with the design of it. The wells are already drilled, regional treatment plants in design, and the interconnecting raw water main is also in design at this time. We've reviewed the SCADA contract, and we're done with that. We're about 95% done with that. We got a meeting on Friday with the contractor to go over some things that we think that should be filled in and give him a chance to defend himself and say it's here or it's not here. So it's going very well. But you can see with these 7 projects, a lot of moving parts, and I'd recommend strongly, especially for the new board members, if we could do a workshop. It'll be a public meeting. Obviously, the public could be sitting in the audience or involved in it, have a roundtable discussion on all the jobs so you get a full idea of what the full scope of the projects are on it. Some nice things about it, we contacted IDEM about all these jobs we're working on, and they're excited for us, and they want to have a meeting to get together with them so they could get everything be on the ground floor of it and be part of the design team. We think that's important because when we send these permits down to them, we don't want to have someone to reinvent the wheel to learn about what's going on, hopefully be filtered to the same person. They're really excited about this whole concept going forward, too.
Okay.
Ken, I'm sorry, I just have one question.
Sure.
So, for the pilot study on well 8, I know in the last meeting you had talked about needing to get recertification for IDEM, through IDEM. What's the timing of that?
Well, we got to finish off the study, and the study's got to be finished off when well 9 is done. See, they were planning on doing this over the winter when the ground was frozen. They could bring their rigs out there across the frozen field. The developer isn't going to allow them to bring them out there across the muddy field right now. They don't want to lose their equipment either. So we finished 8, we jumped over to 7. 7's where Gates is, the Gates treatment plant. So there is no muddy field to go across, and 9's the last one to be done. What indications we got that is we're done with 8 is that we're going to get 50% more flow through the filters by changing the media out. We anticipate the same things occurring at 7 now, and they'll be done with 7 in a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks, if it's not frozen enough, they can't get out to 9. We got to wait for a freeze on it. So did that answer the question? So my answer is I can't tell you when it's going to be done until the weather cooperates with us.
Okay.
And hopefully in February, we're going to get a freeze where they get out there. But until then, if we're done with all these other projects, we go down to item, we could demonstrate what we found at well 8 and well 7, relatively close area, but we could just say, this is what it is, and when we're done with 9, it should just go faster for us.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We talked about maybe putting something on the website for people at Acorn, give them a progress report. I'll confess I didn't look to see if there was, but we were talking in some way to let the people know where we're at on this.
We did talk about it. At this point, since it's just at the item approval phase, there's nothing really to report. Once, we start putting people out there and start digging it up, that's when I think it would be more helpful to the residents. If you wish me to put more stuff out there earlier, I will happily do so.
One of the things, Ken,
Well-
just to his point, we are going to be sending out notifications to everyone that lives there in the mail. So it's not going to be just out on the website. for
It's just that
someone
there's
to
been a
get it.
period of time since they were here.
Right, so we are going to be
They
sending
haven't
them.
heard anything.
We are going to send them an update to let them know that where we're at on the progress of this, and that will be done at least
Just-
quarterly until the project's
But this
done.
is planned, and it's the dates are not finite,
Right.
but that it's in progress, and what's in progress, to know that we're doing something.
There's
about it,
not
that's
a
all.
large number of houses to where we can't, facilitate just a simple letter or notification to
Okay,
them. So
just something
that's the game plan. We've had conversations with Robinson on that, and I know we talked about putting something on the website, but it's cluttered enough
Some
with
way
all
to-
the
some way to
stuff
give them
that's on there
an
now.
update, that something is being done.
Yeah, yeah.
We also talked about having a possible open house where they could come in and ask questions.
Yeah.
And that's after the bids are taken. We have the contractor. The contractor, they can know what type of truck they're gonna have, the uniform, the badges. Tell them don't let anybody in the house unless they're with a public works employee. I mean, that goes a long, long way as far as PR goes. We've done it on-site, and we've done them also in buildings like this. But if it's on-site, you get a lot more participation.
Yeah, I see two people in my church that live there, and they ask me, what's going on? Are you doing anything on this? So that's why I'm asking that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because we are spending time and money already on it, so we should let them know that.
So Joe, sending
This
out,
was, just to bring you up to date, we're replacing all the water mains in the Acorn subdivision. Forgot the name of that thing, so it's a subdivision. It was done by Tomsick. Anyhow, it's on Acorn Drive, back into that section over there. A lot of water main breaks, but Public Works is spending a lot of time and money out there trying to fix all these things. So it's not something we're just doing for cosmetic reasons. It's also for the benefit of the town that we replace all those water mains. Do it all at once.
Okay.
Hey, Wayne, you got anything? Update?
Just to add to what Tom was saying, he took a lot of the stuff I was gonna say, but, the pilot study for 7 will be done tomorrow. That should be done. And one good thing about the SCADA system, well house 8 and 9, which isn't built yet, the panel's already built for that. So they just have to put it on the wall, it's all set, it's plug and play stuff. It saved us some money, because it probably would've went up, so those are done.
How's it working?
It's working good. Robinson was out there looking at the stuff and asking questions. And I think they have a meeting this week with the Austin Electric, so everything should be going pretty good. I think lift station 1, there's some problems with that. I think one of the pumps is gone, or going to have to be taken out because they're having problems with it. But that's not with the SCADA system.
No.
I think they did a good job. In one of the meetings that we had, that because we had the SCADA system in place now, we found some valves that were closed, and Austin Electric went out to there's something going on. We found a couple valves that were closed. We put an altitude valve in the Gates plant, and the Gates plant feeds over here to Public Works. That's going good. Now, we got 2 more altitude valves that the board ordered. They should be here January. We're gonna place 11 valves in the Monix treatment plant and the Gates treatment plant. Then all the valves in that, both of those buildings should be replaced completely. Because a valve, when it's closed, it should be a full circle. So if you go from the 12 o'clock position and take 3/4 of an inch away and go down to the 6 o'clock position, and there's a 1/4 inch away, those valves weren't getting closed. So now, with the maintenance of that, it's been done. Mr. Boltema and Mr. Voice working on that. We're able to isolate the Gates treatment plant. So there's 2 cells, like a water softener. We can isolate that now. We can shut down half of that building and still use the other, whereas before we couldn't do that. So we did a lot of upgrades in the last year and a half, and our job is to get as much water out of the wells as we can.
Right.
So we're doing a good job with it. And other than that, that's it.
Good, good. So we're getting benefits from that.
Yes,
cash
it looks
money
like it.
we put into the SCADA
Yes.
already.
Right, but when we started it, we only wanted to get 1 valve and see how that worked. And now with Austin looking at it, we ordered the other 2, and that should help us tremendously.
Right. Any questions on updates?
Nothing. Oop.
You have anything, Joe, to add?
No, just congratulations to the new members. Look forward to working with you. If you need anything, please let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I guess we had everything from Robinson under correspondence, and you don't have anything additional. All right. And I asked Wayne, so we got town council liaison taken care of. All right, with that, if there's no further business, we'll have the payment of the bills. All right. All right, water utility docket for January 17th is a total of $517,640.11. That's what I got, right? Any questions on those, any of the items?
Nothing remaining.
Okay. If not, then I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion.
All right.
I'll second it.
All right, we have motion second to approve the docket for $517,640.11. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. And then we have the Water District docket for a total of $17,737.97. Any questions on those? Most of it's NIPSCO and payroll. Yeah. All right,
Do not.
motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
I will second it.
All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Public comment. It's not on the agenda, but,
It's on page 2, I think. Yep.
oh, it's on the back. All right. Public comment. No public comment. Motion to adjourn.
I guess I have one follow-up question. So we talked about that roundtable. What will be the process for us to establish what that date will be and be able to serve public notice?
Tom, you wanna talk about that?
I would say whatever's comfortable for you. I would think sometime after 3 or 4.
Tom.
Tom, turn your mic on, please. Thank you.
I would say whatever works out best for you, but I would hope sometime in the afternoon. That way we could hopefully have some key public works staff there. They play a very important role on this, and I think they should be there to be talking about it too. They usually work till 3:30, so anytime after 3, but it all depends on what time the board could be there too. And
So Joe, what's the time frame that we have to be able to give public notice? How much in advance do we have to give notice of this meeting?
Well, for a public meeting, it's not like it'd be a public hearing, it'd be like a study session, is
Yeah,
what
so-
I'm assuming. So typically, you'd want at least 48 hours, or 2 business days. you know.
Oh, that's it, okay.
But, I mean, you'd want to give at least enough time to, you know, if you're looking for public input.
It's,
stuff
it's a
like that.
courtesy for
Yeah.
a study session. You don't have to, there's no
So will
stat.
your team facilitate getting an,
Yeah, if that's what you guys would
A
like to do,
meeting,
we can
yeah,
kind of get the
that would
times
be
and dates
great.
for you guys, whatever, you know, works best for your schedules. And then, you know, obviously with staff and whatnot too, we can do that.
You gonna handle go
One other
between them and
point.
set that up?
Yeah.
This is for Ken. Ken, the people, you know, on Acorn, we could have the study session, so the first project we talk about is Acorn water main. So the residents could be here to learn about that first, and I'm gonna sit through everything else.
Kill two
Like-
birds with one stone.
Like I said, this study session could take a couple hours.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of work here, a lot of things you need to understand and grasp, and we want to make sure you do get it. So,
okay, so we'll work with Jennifer to,
Yeah,
for
we'll get that
availability
facilitated, yep.
and timing. Okay, terrific, thank you. Sorry, Ken, that's all I had.
All right. All right, you ready to adjourn?
Ready. I make a
Motion.
motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor signify by aye.